I request Dr. Minito, Head of the Department of Basic Science and Humanities, to say the welcome address.
Good morning, all of you. Dr. Dilip Barad will be giving us a talk on human resilience. He is Professor and Head of the Department of English, MK Bhavanagar University. He did his PhD from Saurashtra University and has 23 years of teaching experience. His areas of interest are called innovative use of ICT in teaching English, literatures, and literary theories. He has penned books and articles on Thomas Hardy, Kamala Das, modern communication and web tools for English teaching. Recently, he has completed an e-content development project funded by Ministry of HRD, Government of India. He has completed UGC research project on technology and teaching English language and literature, blended learning. He has successfully completed online course on web skills for teachers from University of Oregon, USA. Sir, I invite you to deliver the talk.
Thanks a lot. A very good morning to everybody, all those who are present. I see there are some 53 participants in this gathering today, in this webinar. I am joining from Gujarat. This is Bhavnagar University. Bhavnagar is a district place from where I am joining with you all. The numbers are increasing. It is now 58 participants there. I hope all are the engineering students. And we are going to talk about human resilience with you. I have come to know that still people are increasing. I think you are just letting in from the waiting room. So just I have a brief introductory talk. By the time if there are anybody in the waiting room, they also can join here. 76 now, there are the participants there. I have come to know from Vinod sir that there is a capacity of 100 participants in this room. So maximum we can take only 100 people here in this room. So I think this is a North Kerala University. I was looking through the to see it is somewhere above Munnar. Munnar is a very famous hill station in Gujarat. Many Gujaratis love to visit Kerala, and this place Munnar is a very popular place. And this is somewhere on the northern side of that. That was how I was locating on Google Maps here. We have more than 80 now. I will share my screen. I have something to be interactive with you all, with the students specifically here. And I have some video clips also to be displayed on the screen. I am trying a couple of things. We all know that working on this remote platforms, digital platforms, remotely connecting with the people is very difficult, is not easy task. We never know whether the technology will work or will not work. Anytime the technical problem may emerge. You all are engineers, you know things better than me. That things work, it works. It doesn't work, it doesn't work. We just try it out several things. So I have tried a couple of things. Let us see whether things are working here or not. Trying to be interactive with everybody. Let me share my screen here. And this is the title slide. I hope it is a full screen visible. Miss Jan or Miss Mini can just show me a thumb if things are okay. Yeah, I think you are able to see full screen. Yeah. Students and faculty members of SCMS, School of Engineering and Technology, Department of Basic Science and Humanities. We are here to talk about human resilience here in this webinar. I would request everybody to open this website, a parallel slide in your mobile phone, menti.com, and give this code there. You will get some questions and you have to give some responses to these questions here. Menti.com and 423873 is the code that you have to display. Yeah. Menti.com And the code, I hope you have noted, 423873. Yeah. I hope it is convenient. The students can also do multitasking on a mobile device, even if you're connected from mobile phone. Laptop, it is very easy to move from one slide to another one. But here also, I hope you will be able to do this. Are you able to see the question? The question which I have displayed here also on the screen. Yeah, okay, fine. I have started getting the responses. Type the word or words come in your mind when you read this phrase, human resilience. Which words come in your mind? 3 words. You can give multiple times also. I got 1 response. Let us wait for the students also. I hope they are trying to pop up with the multi-windows. You can put things in the chat box. Chat box is allowed here or not? Are they allowed to chat? Participants are okay, getting more. 3 responses I got. Yeah. Okay, I think you are seeing the screen also here, how the word cloud is changing by the responses. 7 responses we have got now. Yeah, determination, strength, yeah, are the words. Okay, strength, courage, determination. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Good, interesting clouds are being made by your responses. 12 of you have given, 13 now. Yeah. You can give multiple times also. 1 is enough, but if you want to, you can give more response. You can keep on giving till we are here on this screen. Yeah, we have a chat also there. Okay. Not in the chat. Some of you have put in the chat. Not in the chat. Menti.com. Go to menti.com. Use the code that is given on the screen, 423873, and then there you have to give. Anisha has given on this volatile here. It is given. I will put a link in chat box also. Go to menti.com and you have to give the code. Yeah? Okay, 26 have given the response. Yeah, find courage is leading, determination. And this is the cloud which the maximum words that are used by the participants. That word is larger. The lesser used word is smaller. Good one. Interesting. Yeah. Good. Now we are getting more responses. Good. Yeah. Yes, 34 responses. Yeah, this is your attendance also. Sometimes for the students, the attendance matters a lot. So if you tell that this is for your attendance also, then suddenly they become hyperactive in giving their responses. I don't know whether the certificates are to be given by the institute or not, but many times when we conduct such webinars, we put this interactive modes and we say that those who have interacted live on polls, that will be their attendance for the certificate. Yeah, 40 now we have reached, and very interesting words are coming up. Resistance to stress. Okay, human right also somebody has said. The code is 423873. I hope this is the right one. Yeah, somebody has put a marker on one of the code. I would request any of the teachers also to check. I think it is 2 there, code 423873. Danny Paul is asking this. I got it. Danny Paul, you can put a chat message and say if the code is working or not. 50 responses, 51 now. Good one, going in a better way. Yeah, okay. I got a message from Danny Paul. The code is working. 423873. Those who are the late joiners. Again, a code menti.com. We are on this website, menti.com. You are seeing my slide, which is a response of the participants' answers given on that particular question, where it is asked that type the word or words that come in your mind when you read this phrase, human resilience. The code is 423873. Yeah, fine. Courage is leading. Determination is there. Humanity also is there along with that. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Okay, let me see if I can do. Miss Minnie Tom has given a message to see if they annotate. Well, but otherwise it is also okay, no problem if things they scribble something. On this online mode, I have talked this in many of the webinars that we all are in learning mode. This is a very interesting learning curve that we all are moving on, working from home, working from remote places, using digital tools for various kinds of things. And we require a different kinds of human resilience to all these things also. Because we all were habituated for a different mode of communications, different mode of talking with each other. And now COVID-19 has put us into a situation where we try something else. And we as a human beings are displaying a very wonderful resilience in this context, not only in fighting against the coronavirus, but also in working out our ways of doing the things. So technology is helping us, but we all are learning a lot. We are on a learning curve. And human resilience is all about learning curve. The learning never ends. And the people with this habit, every time ready to learn new things, they are the people having wonderful human resilience within them also there. So we all are learning on this curve, and it's very interesting. 73 responses now we have got. It's a very good response from students. Courage, capacity is the word which is emerging now. The other minor words, if I can see, okay, peace also is a word there. Stress, bravery, okay? Remain calm, yeah. Knowledge, nourishment, bouncing back, yeah, very interesting word. Bouncing back is given there. Mental strength is there. Overcoming stress. No quitting, okay. Forgiveness, freedom, tough, yeah, good words. Defend the obstacles. Perseverance, interesting word. Self-confidence, fearlessness, wow, interesting. Optimism, good one, very interesting. Responses from students, yeah. 78. Just let us wait for 1 or 2 minutes and then we will go on to the next question here. Okay? '80 responses now, and very interesting words we have got here. The teachers who are dealing with this subject, I have seen the syllabus also of life skills, and you all know that we deal with language, English language. English language is one of the life skills, and how to deal with the language things. Now see how interesting words are emerging from students. which are related to this particular word. So there are nouns, there are adverbs, there are adjectives, there are phrases that are emerging. So any teacher of language will be very happy to see that students are generating language. They are very creative in defining something with the help of English language. So this itself, this cloud is a wonderful cloud to see here. Okay, 86. Now, can we move on to the next one? Yeah, next, the question that we go to that. But thank you all for giving wonderful responses to this particular question. This is the another one. Resilience means, there are 4 options. There are a little bit of scribbles. And you can pick up your options. Yeah. Okay, fine. We started getting the responses. First one we got. Okay, I would request everybody to be a little bit quick. This is no exam, so no need to worry. This is playing, so don't be afraid of right or wrong answers. All answers are correct answers. Wow, interesting. You will see the graph moving up and down like a music bar. 28 responses in a very quick 30 now. Yeah. Wow, interesting, and very quick also. 50. Good. Well, right now at the top, obviously, is the ability of person to spring back quickly into shape after being bent, stretched, or deformed. Very interesting. Maximum, most of you are telling this, that resilience means bouncing back, coming back into the shape after being bent or broken or stretched or deformed. That is very, very important part that we want to see here. Elasticity is there, but few people are picking up elasticity. Recover quickly from setback and recovery from the problems. Yeah. Well, so friends, students, we understand what is human resilience. It is this. Now, resilience is always very important when there are setbacks. If the life is smoothly sailing, normally we do not require the ability of resilience, or our ability of resilience is rarely tested, examined, if we do not face a setback in life. And that is why the examples that we are going to see, or some of the lives that we want to discuss very briefly here, will be the lives of the people who have undergone terrible setbacks in the life, unimaginable setbacks in their life, in different contexts, and how they all have bounced back, how they have come back to the shape, in a rather better shape. That is the story about everybody. Well, so I'm moving on to the next slide. Thank you all for your interesting responses. Whom do you remember when you think of human resilience? Well, this was a time bound, so only 20 were able to give the responses. Well, is at the top here. Okay, J.K. Rowling, Dasrath Manzi, and Arunima Sinha. Okay. There's still another slide with the same. The names will change, but be ready now. There is time limit of 20 seconds. So you have to be very quick in giving your responses. Whom do you remember when you think of human resilience? Well, here, Muhammad Ali, one of my favorites also. We'll talk about something about his life, why Muhammad Ali is one of the examples of human resilience. But good to see that the 20 who gave the response, 11 think of Muhammad Ali also here. Okay. Going to the next question, be ready. Yeah. And this is the last one here. Okay, there are 50 seconds, 60 seconds, 1 minute time is there. Again, the same, whom do you remember when you think of human resilience? Nicholas James, Aron Lee Ralston, Colonel Harland David Sanders, Abraham Lincoln. To display the answer, we got more responses this time, almost 45. Five, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And here is our result. Yeah, okay, fine. Abraham Lincoln is the most popular name as compared to the other 3. We'll say something of the 3 also, the remaining 1. I'm coming back to my slides. Okay. I think I'll have to share again the screen so that annotation is off. Clear all drawings. Okay, fine. So Zoom is a very interesting platform. Yeah, and it gives something interesting features for everybody. Yeah, yeah, fine. Okay. Clear the annotations. Text. Okay, fine. So thank you all for your wonderful responses, and I hope we have made our mind very clear about what is human resilience. There is no need of going into definition to talk about what is. The words came from students itself, that this is what they think is human resilience here. I want to give a couple of examples very briefly to touch upon some of the lives where they have displayed a very interesting amount of human resilience in their lives in different capacities. Wright Brothers. We all know the story of Wright Brothers as well as about Robert Fulton. These are very interesting examples also from the angle of engineering also. The engineers who had displayed a kind of a resilience. Wright Brothers, we all know they were the inventors of aeroplanes, and Robert Fulton was the one who did experiment with steamboat. In America, when Wright Brothers in the beginning of 20th century were trying out this aeroplane, the physicists of the day, I mean the scientists of the day who deal with the physics, they told that anything that is heavier than air cannot fly. Anything that is heavier than water density cannot float. The steamboat is made up of metal. It cannot float on a water, or an aeroplane cannot fly. But Wright Brothers or Robert Fulton had a different kind of an ideas in their mind. and then they experiment. This is the image of the first aeroplane, which flew for a few meters and then crashed. But we know today that we even today are not even surprised to see that heavy metal aeroplanes with hundreds and thousands of people inside is flying. Steamboats with hundreds and thousands of people inside. Aeroplanes, jet planes on the board, on boats, they all are floating there. But imagine a kind of a resilience they might have displayed when they were experimenting with this kind of thing, but everybody said that this is not possible. Even the science said that this is not possible. So sometimes this resilience has to go beyond what are the natural phenomena, or what are the definitions of science. Scientists and engineers are there to redefine the science in different capacity also. The next one example that I would like to give, Abraham Lincoln, which is very popular and everybody almost are well aware about Abraham Lincoln. Okay, I'm reading a kind of this also, chat also along with this. Okay, fine. Thanks, Ms. Jen, for putting that comment. This, okay. Well, the students, we have to give instruction to students, don't do that. But in case some are trying only, people don't know what will happen because of this. They are just trying out, and that may happen also. Well, Lincoln's famous failures. Abraham Lincoln is a very popular president of America, even today, one of the best. But his story is a story of failures. So many times, the series of things that before he became the president of America, elected one, he was like many times even depressions, almost on the verge of committing suicide. Another story I remember with Abraham Lincoln is about Abdul Kalam, the president of India, the missile man of India. If you have read Wings of Fire, the autobiography of Abdul Kalam, who writes there that he went for an interview to become a pilot in Indian Air Force, Dehradun, and he was not selected because his body was not fit. We know that Abdul Kalam is thin and lean-looking fellow. He is not a kind of a man in physique having a personality of a pilot or somebody who is a military man or a man of Air Force. Kalam is not that kind of person. So he came down to Haridwar from Dehradun, and he writes in Wings of Fire, he was contemplating to commit suicide in River Ganga, and there was an ashram nearby. So he thought to visit an ashram, and then he thought that he wanted to end a life because his dream was to become Air Force pilot. But because of his physique, his physical fitness, his mental fitness was no doubt wonderful, but his physical fitness and the guru in the ashram told that perhaps you are meant for something else. Why do you want to end your life? If not this, there might be something else also. Lincoln's example or Abdul Kalam's examples are something that we have to keep always at our fingertips, and we all are bound to fail in life. We all are bound to. We should fail in life. Failure is a great medicine. Failure is something great to build our resilience also. Another example, J.K. Rowling, most of you have tick mark that you know J.K. Rowling, a very famous American writer. Harry Potter is the creation of J.K. Rowling. Famous film series, most of you might have seen. If not seen, you must be aware about the phenomenon of Harry Potter. J.K. Rowling made an entire generation to read books again in children's literature. This is a benchmark in the last decade of 20th century, in the first decade of 21st century. And J.K. Rowling's story is an amazing story of human resilience. She married earlier. She never had a very good relation with father. She has not used even father's name in her name. It is her grandmother's name that she is using with K. It is not the father's name. Such were the strained relations at home that you don't have a good relation with your father. You marry and then there is a very early divorce from marriage. She is a single mother. She gave birth to a daughter. She is divorcee. She cannot go back home because no good relation with father. She has to sustain her life with a daughter. A single mother, daughter, you have to find your way, you have to sustain yourself. She started writing a book. She wrote a first novel, first book of Harry Potter. Nobody was ready to publish. That this is not a book that people would love to publish. There was lots of struggle to publish the first book. She went underwent this depression, clinically detected depression. She thought of committing suicide so many times. You listen the talks given by J.K. Rowling on Google, on various platforms, and you will find that she had a terrible struggle to make it, and from there she came out. Today, one of the most famous authors that the world has ever seen. Earning money from writing is not an easy task. There are great engineers who are writers also, but they do a job and then they write also. Only to write and to have livelihood from writing is very tough task. She has made it that you can be billionaire by writing novels, by writing literature, and even in this time of digital era, if you write something significant, people will read you. It is not that reading as a habit is dead. Nobody wants to read, but you have to write something which people are more interested than movies and Netflix series. Such a wonderful writing she has done. A wonderful example of human resilience in this era. Arunima Sinha, many of you are aware about it. You will see the picture there. One leg is amputated. One leg is an artificial limb is there. And Arunima Sinha's story is an amazing story. I am very briefly touching upon this people of great human resilience, but I would always request you to Google about them and write something on that. Prepare a project on each and every of them. Write a blog on them. If possible, I would suggest even to the teachers to think of a project based on this webinar talk. And if you can ask your students to prepare something on the lives of all these people or similar kind of people, and write blog on that. Students writing blogs is very, very important. So if they can be inspired to write blogs on the stories of human resilience, share those blogs with me also. If you post on Facebook, tag me on Facebook. I am there on Facebook, and you can tag me there if you put any of these stories on your social media post also. Arunima Sinha, a volleyball national player, a sports person traveling in a train, a night journey. There are some robbers in the train. There is a fight with the robbers, and a group of robbers in a train threw Arunima Sinha out of the train on the second parallel track that was going on. She is lying there almost dead, half conscious, and one leg is on the another track. She is lying in between both the tracks. She is looking the another train, super fast train coming, but she cannot move her leg from the track. Train passing over her body, and one leg is completely amputated. She keeps on crying there. And trains after trains keeps on passing, or both the tracks, she keeps on lying there with half body. But see the human resilience. He said, no, I am not going to die. Hundreds of trains may pass over me. And then early morning people came. She was taken to the hospital. The doctor gave his own blood to Arunima, and Arunima survived. She was not even able to walk. She was a volleyball player. She was not able to walk, play. And her dream was to climb Mount Everest. Her dream was to climb Mount Everest. And with an artificial limb, she became the first lady, first female with amputated limbs to climb Mount Everest. But not only Mount Everest, all the top peaks in the world are now conquered by Arunima Sinha. Not only Mount Everest, almost all the great peaks, the highest peaks of the world are conquered by Arunima Sinha. A wonderful story of human resilience. Muhammad Ali, the great, which was there. We have many sports personalities, but the greatest perhaps goes only with Muhammad Ali. We have Mahendra Singh Dhoni, we have Sachin Tendulkar, we have Virat Kohli, we have great many sports personalities. But the greatest perhaps is Muhammad Ali. Why? Because in his prime time, when he was the champion in the boxing, at that time there was a war between America and Vietnam, and government of America wanted everybody to join the military and fight in Vietnam. Muhammad Ali resisted that call from government of America and said that American government is doing something terribly wrong with Vietnamese people. It is not the battle that America should fight in Vietnam against Vietnamese people. There was ban on Muhammad Ali, official government ban, because he resisted the government. He was not allowed to participate in any of the events. Imagine you are in the prime of your time. We know that sports personalities have hardly 5-10 years to perform, and then when you are in 30s, there are young people in 20s, and the people in 30s find very difficult to compete with the people in 20s. You hardly have 10 years. 5 years back, anybody would have agreed with government, would have retracted back their words and agreed to say whatever government says is right. But Muhammad Ali, the greatest, did not bow down. He said, no play, no worry. He went on with his own stance. And when afterwards the stories of Vietnam came out, people realized that government of America was wrong in Vietnam. Muhammad Ali was right. And then he again became a player. He again became gold medalist in Olympics, and in many fights he became unbeaten and all this thing. But this is the story of this, that you are fighting against the governments also. You are fighting, you are showing resilience, because there are some truths which are going to be the truths after a decade. Today, if few people are standing for the truth, it doesn't mean it is a lie. Today, if so many people are standing for something that is a lie and consider that as truth, it doesn't mean that is a truth also. Majority doesn't decide what is right and what is wrong. It is the human resilience which people have to fight. When the majority are thinking in one way, the different track becomes very important. Muhammad Ali is a great person in that regard. Colonel Harlan Davis Sanders, quite an unknown person, but he is the man behind KFC. KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken, is one of the most popular brands, chain of food outlets, and a very popular one throughout the world. It was started by Colonel Harlan David Sanders. A very tough story. He struggled throughout, and at a very old age, like Abraham Lincoln, he got success with KFC, fried chickens. He had a patent also for a particular way of frying chickens, which became very popular. But his story is very interesting. He used to go to the food outlets and tell that, use my fried chicken. Said that, well, I will cook something for you and you serve the dishes. If the customers are happy, then only you pay the money. He used to sleep in his car, in the back seat of the car. He used to work with various restaurants. He used to cook there. And then 75% of the customers were very happy with the fried chickens. And then there is a chain. And then he sold the chain to other person. He became billionaire of this. But his story also is an amazing story. The story of KFC there. 127 Hours is a very interesting film. We'll see a brief trailer of this film. This is a story about Aron Ralston, an amazing story. You see the picture there. His one hand is amputated there. But the story is like that. He was a mountain. He alone was moving around the mountains, and he got held up into between the rock at one place. And then he has to cut his arm to release himself. A terrible, imagine you are alive and you have to cut. By accident, if your arms get cut, it is a second in which that happens. But you are alive for 126 hours, working on your hand to get a release from this. Well, let us see this trailer here.
Good morning, everyone. It is 7 o'clock here in Canyonland, USA.
Hey, Aaron. Mom still has not heard from you. Will you just call her, please? I'll talk to you soon.
And this morning, on the boulder, we have a very special guest, Aron Ralston!
Oh, gosh, it's a real pleasure to be here. Thank you. Thank you.
Hey! You lost? I'm a guide. What'd he say?
See, I'm something of a big heart hero.
All you have to remember is that everything will be okay.
Oh my God, Aaron! Are you okay, Aaron?
Come on! You gotta come down here!
It's been nice knowing you, man.
I can do everything on my own.
See ya!
Bye. I don't think we figured in his day at all.
Hey there, Aaron.
Is it true? You didn't tell anyone where you were going. This marks 24 hours of being stuck. I've been chipping away. Want to keep warm than anything. I have about 150 milliliters of water left, which should keep me alive till tomorrow night, if I'm lucky. Mom, Dad, I haven't appreciated you as I know that I could. I love you guys, and I'll always be with you. Don't give up, Aaron. Do not give up.
Amazing film, 127 hours, and a real story of the person. Don't give up, and a very interesting story that 7 hours to understand the human resilience. I will make this point at the end also, that the best way to learn about human resilience is literature, stories, and films. This is another one, by a film, Hindi film, Dasrath Manzi. I don't know whether this film had been released in Kerala or not, but again is a very wonderful. This is a story about a mountain man. Again, a true story, a biographical film. Let us watch this trailer. It's in Hindi language. I don't know whether everybody will be able to follow Hindi language or not, but even the visuals will be very appealing.
बहुत बड़ा है तू, बहुत अकड़ है तोरा में, देख देख कैसे उखाड़ते हैं अकड़ तेरी।
पहाड़ पार 4 मील पर है वजीरगंज कस्बा, लेकिन वहां जाए के लिए भी 40 मील घूम के जाना पड़ता है। पहाड़ नांगे के चक्कर में जाने कितने ही मर खाते हैं।
शानदार, जबरदस्त, जिंदाबाद। ये फगुनिया है, ये हमार मैरिया है। तौर खातिर दुपट लाए। एक बादशाह ने अपनी रानी की याद में बनाया था।
इतना सा?
तौर को इतना चाहते हैं, 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 कितना चाहते हैं। क्या बताएं, सीना चीर के दिखाएं बजरंग बली जैसा। तोड़ेंगे नहीं, तब तक छोड़ेंगे। बहुत ही लंबा दंगल चलेगा रे। तो तैयार है? तैयार है। शानदार, जबरदस्त, जिंदाबाद। पागल है, जिंदगी खराब कर रहा है। ये भीतर का घाव जब तक ये टूटेगा नहीं, भरेगा नहीं। तो अपना अखबार काहे नहीं छाप देते?
अखबार निकालना इतना आसान काम है क्या?
पहाड़ तोड़े से भी मुश्किल है का।
ताकत कहाँ से लाते हैं?
ये प्रेम है, प्रेम पर बहुत बल है भगवान। भगवान के भरोसे मत बैठिए, क्या पता भगवान हमरे भरोसे बैठा हो।
Well, the mountain man, he's famously known as Mountain Man. I don't know whether the story has reached in Kerala, and are you aware about this or not, but it was a very famous story in the northern part of India. There is a full-length film also on this. The last sentence was very interesting. Don't rely on God. Maybe God is relying on you. Start working. Come on. So there is a struggle. The wife died, a pregnant wife died because sleeping over the mountain, and they have to roam around 35 kilometers to move to a near village because there was a mountain in between. And because of the wife was climbing over the mountain for water and slipped and died, the love for a wife, he challenged the mountain that I will make a pathway in between. And then he made a road in between for all the village. Today the road is a very well prepared road now, but he began that road cutting down the mountain into this wonderful story about love and what love can do in case of this resilience there. Nicholas James Vujicic, last word is very difficult here, but Nicholas James is what we can, this is a very amazing character. The person who is born without hands and legs. This is just a disease. There is nothing accident that the arms and legs are cut. It's just he's born with that. We are born with some kind of deformity. What can be done? There is no accident in our life. There is no mishap in our life. But there is something that we are there with that. Just a tiny clip. We will have a look here. Well, his story is an amazing story because, well, people kept on telling, you can't do this, you can't do that. And he said, I can do everything. And wonderful life. He's a motivational speaker. What reason might we have for not doing anything with this arms, this leg, this intelligence, this ability to do the thing? This person is something that we always have to keep in our mind. We will get inspired, motivated for anything that we need to do. These are some of the examples that I am not going deeply into those stories. I just, as I suggested, that you just have to Google them out. Wonderful videos are available on Google about all these people, and wherever you love to get motivation from anybody, you will find these people handy to look at the struggles of their life and develop human resilience. What I want to say, well, we're moving to the concluding part, what I want to say is that resilience is something like black box is, this is a flight recorder. Black box is a device which comes in aeroplanes, flight. We know that flight recorders, these black boxes, they record all the conversations that happened in aeroplane, but they are never opened. They are never listened by anybody. They are opened and listened only when aeroplane crashes. Only when aeroplane crashes, people search for the black box to understand what went wrong, what were the last conversations, what happened with the machines. It is recorded in the flight recorders, black boxes. Resilience is something like black box. We constantly require resilience in ourselves. We may not require it every time, in every occasion, every day, in every event. Check whether the resilience is there or not. Like, we do not check black box every time, but as and when there is a crash, as and when there is a crash in our human body, there is illness like cancer or very terminal illness, or like even corona can be added into that. If there is amputation of some of the arms that happens, if there is the death of near ones, death of very dear ones that happens, a failure in exam, a failure in interviews, failure in jobs, in getting promotions, these are the crashes that happens in that life. And at that time, reading black box, reading resilient is very, very important for us. So I would equate resilience with black box. We may not require it every day, but we should have it. We require it constantly with us. We have to nurture it. We have to repair it. We have to maintain it constantly there. What is it to be resilient? I love this quote from Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee, again, a very known figure. He told this, be like water, making its path. You know, water is one of the most toughest thing, very, very powerful thing is water. Water can destroy anything. Huge dams which are built by us of concretes and iron can be destroyed by water. So that is the power and might of water. But still, like water means do not be assertive, but adjust to the object and you shall find a way around or through it. If nothing within you stays rigid, this rigidity breaks. Don't be rigid. You have to be resilient, but don't be rigid. Outward things will disclose themselves. Empty your mind. Be formless, shapeless like water. If you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. If you put water into a bottle, it becomes a bottle. If you put it in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Water can flow anywhere. Be water. And it is not that you are bendable. It is not that you are not powerful enough. It is not that you are not courageous enough. You are. That is the power of water. It is very powerful. It can destroy anything, but it is also formless. It is shapeless. It keeps on moving. So Bruce Lee's idea that what is it to be resilient is be like water. My personal take for this is this kind of pyramidical structure. 5 P's, 3 E's, 2 S's, and 1 G. This formula can help us repairing our resilience, in maintaining our resilience, in nurturing our resilience. Be patient, persistence, perseverance, practice, and positive attitude in a way. By positive, I don't say that don't be negative. I say that there is a power with negative attitude also. And when I say that there is a power with negative attitude, I think that also is my positivity of looking towards negativity also. I would say critical thinking is very much necessary, if not absolutely negative thinking. But I don't say that negativity is not good for life. That also is the positive way of looking at everything. Practice is very important. Whatever skills we have, if you will not practice for 2 days, you will be dwindling down into those things. Perseverance, persistence, patience is ultimately very, very necessary for this. 3 is education, environment, and experience plays a very vital role in our resilience, in developing our resilience, in maintaining our resilience. Also, 2 very important S's, sports and spirituality. I would request everybody that you should have 1 outdoor games, sports in your set skills. When you think of life skills, one of the life skills which is very necessary, in the toolbox, we have various tools. 1 tool I would recommend strongly is have 1 habit, a passion for outdoor games. I again repeat, outdoor games, not indoor games. Outdoor games, if possible, early in the morning. That game should be played as early as possible, 5, 6, 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. And I say this because I practice this every day. I would suggest you to, I recommend you to visit my Facebook page, and I have a photo album about sports and recreation activities. And I keep on uploading my playing of tennis, my cycling early in the morning. This is very, very wonderful thing to build our resilience to fight our battles throughout the day. There. Spirituality. I don't say be religious. I say be spiritual. I don't say that do prayers every day, go to temples. If you want to, you can go to temples. If you want to, you can go to mosques or churches. If you want to pray, you can pray. I don't think that to be spiritual, we need to go to temples or to have prayers. My morning rituals are outside on the ground with nature, with outdoor games, and I perspire outside is my prayer, is my yagna, or whatever you call it. So spirituality is not being religious, and grit. It is very important. Be brave, be courageous, have tenacity, have fortitude, endurance. The grit is all those kinds of things that becomes necessary here. Engineers are by default best at resilience. There are wonderful memes about engineers. I don't have to teach you. In fact, we have to learn from you how to be resilient. Wonderful memes that keep on telling that how resilient engineering students are. And you display that time and again. Your courses are meant to make you resilient. And if you don't have that, you are bound to fail. Engineering courses will make you resilient in different capacity. Also, this was a funny meme to add here. Best way to learn about human resilience are stories, literature. Read literatures like The Old Man and the Sea. I would strongly recommend. It's a very small book. You can read that. Moby Dick, Robinson Crusoe, The Road. The Road is a movie also available, I think, on Netflix or Amazon Prime. Life of Pi, wonderful book, novel, as well as an interesting literature also. Films like Castaway, Cliffhanger, Martian, Gravity, Revenant. Watch films. Read. Best way to develop human resilience. Google these things. You will find very interesting responses here. Best engineering films. And you will find how engineers have displayed resilience in building wonderful world for us. Bridges, aeroplanes, technology, smartphones, computers, this webinar setups, internet, wonderful things engineers have given to us. Our lives have become so beautiful and better thanks to all the engineers. And watch the films of engineers, and you see the struggle that they keep on making. And actors also who pursued engineering. I was just Googling out of curiosity to see that top movies engineers would love. I think you are seeing the slide, no? This website I am displaying here. Interesting film, Dunkirk, The Shape of Water, Armageddon, The Fly, Minority Report, Artificial Intelligence, Apollo 13, Aliens, Imitation Game, The Martian, and apart from that also wonderful films are there. The survival film, if you will just Wikipedia, you will find the list of these films which are wonderful here. This and this also, I'm showing this here because my personal recommendation to even to the teachers is that such films should be a part of the syllabus in life skills. We teach how to write letters, language, that is fine. We have to deal with language part. But there should be some such kind of films in syllabus also. And this was something interesting I was looking for. And I found this. Top 10 Malayalam actors who pursued engineering. And this is very interesting to see that many engineers are actors in entertainment industry. They are telling wonderful stories and doing wonderful work also. So this was quite surprising to me also that in Kerala, so many engineers are actors and doing wonderful work on this. You can Google and get to this also. Coming back to my last slide, and again I want to take you to Mentimeter. We are concluding with Mentimeter. There will be 3 small questions there. Go to menti.com and 554549. 554549. Everybody, go to Mentimeter. Menti.com, sorry, menti.com, 554549 is the code. I'm just beginning the questions there. Yeah? Just wait for a while. for the question to start. I hope now you are able to see the question and a very quick responses from everybody. We are concluding within 5 minutes, yeah, with this. And one more question, I think. Wow, wonderful, wonderful response. Yeah. Okay, be quick, everybody. All the students are request you to be a little bit quick. Okay, 8 responses, 9, 10, and you can see the graph that is moving in an amazing way. Yes, and after giving the response, you can come to this slide to see how the graph is moving on. 25 responses, good, great going. Yeah. We're still waiting for 30 more seconds. Yeah. Yeah, Nicholas James has now reached at the top. Yeah, we have 95, almost house full participants are there. 40 have given the responses. Let us wait if there are many who are trying to give the response.
95 participants. ആരുണ്ടാവില്ല.
Okay, okay, fine. 42 responses are there. Yeah. Just for a while we are waiting here in case people want to give the responses here. Some of the yeah, okay, muting responses given by Ms. Jane, and also like scribbling keeps on happening here. Some of the students are trying to scribble on the things. Something very interesting that we see about, when I belong to arts, most of the teachers are also from arts. We deal with language and literature, and we keep on comparing that how do the other people think and how the software engineers think. How do the other people think and how software engineers think. The software engineers will the normal people, like we people, the English teachers who deal with philosophy also, good and bad and right and wrong, do this, don't do that. These are very common instructions which teachers are normally bound to give. So we keep on. So like, don't make noise in the class, don't do this, don't scribble on the screen. These are normal commands which normally the teachers are habituated of giving. And they would say that if you will scribble, I will throw you out of the webinar class. If you will scribble, I will punish you. Whoever is scribbling, it is recorded. Whoever is scribbling, I know who is scribbling. And then those all instructions. On the other side, how software engineers think. They think that, well, people are bound to do such kind of things. Let us put one simple feature where all the scribbles can be deleted within a single go. And I like that alternative. If you tell people that be good, do good, well, it is bound to happen that they will be naughty. They would love to be naughty, and they will not be good, or they don't want to do that. Normally, it is a human nature that we love to do what we are told not to do. And so you have to keep an alternative. And that is where I give that advice to everybody, that think like software engineers. Find an alternative. If people are going to do this, what are you going to do? Gmail services, when I use, I type that I am sending an attachment and I have forgot to attach. This is a very normal habit which human beings have, that they forget to attach the thing. Suddenly the window pops up and tells that it seems you have forgotten. Now, this is a wonderful thing. Humans are bound to forget. And then you can say that this is how it works. So that is interesting. You don't have to tell people that don't scribble. You can keep on. And at the same time, there is a feature which can be used, and we can do this work also there. Very interesting. 46 responses. Nicholas James at the top, and Arunima Sinha, Abraham Lincoln are there. We move on to the next slide. Yeah, thanks for that. We are just ending this. Yeah, fine. I am getting the responses. What is your takeaway from this session? Some things, one word, two word, a sentence, or whatever you think of writing. Yeah, I'm getting a message. I'm reading Divya MS's message. Yeah, that's true. That is what teachers are supposed to display: resilience, be positive, and never give up. And that is how we teach students also, by being what we want to teach. They're wonderful responses are coming here. Yeah, it's okay. Your positive attitude. That's very interesting. Learn to be prepared for all types of phases of the life. Wonderful inspirational talk, fine stories which you have shared with will stay in our mind whenever we face difficulty. Wonderful responses. Wonderful. Yeah, good. It's going one interesting way. See the flow chart that happens on the screen. And this is a very interesting device, Mentimeter, where interactively we see, we think of our takeaways also. Wow, good responses. Wonderful responses. We are ending in 10 seconds. Just 10 seconds here. Yeah. And we will have a final take on any of the questions if there are. Yeah, fine. 30 responses so far. Yeah. 29. Okay. Be fearless. Never give up attitude. Accept all the life changes. Be dependent on yourself. Learn to face difficulties. Believe in your skills. Good responses. Interesting. Never give up. Yeah. Move on. Be fearless. Okay. Good responses. Thanks all the participants. Yeah, very interesting responses are there. Yeah? Okay, more than 40 have responded are there. I think people are typing, so I wait for 5 more seconds. I know we are running out of time. In the beginning we had, okay, 11, it is already there. Yeah. Ability to rise over our failures is the greatest ability of a good sentence, well constructed sentence also. Be confident and resilient, never give up. Yeah, good. Yeah, Polisanam, I think that's a Malayali word. Okay, interesting. Okay, the last slide, we have, okay, 50, we are reaching up to 50 responses here. Aim high, fine, good. Yeah. Okay. Interesting responses. Wow, wonderful to read. I will share the responses also. The result I will share with the teachers. You can share with the students later on also. Failures are stepping stones to success. A good response. Be dependent on yourself, learn to face difficulties. It was very good. What the time, good interface with menti.com. Didn't know about this feature. Thank you. Well, fine. Thanks to you also for looking at the mode of delivery also. That's a very good insight that you have, that how the things are delivered and what is delivered. Both the things are, how part is more important than what. The process is always more important than the product. Good to see that. Ability to rise over our failures is the greatest ability. 60 of them have, okay, I'm ending now, okay? Good responses. Thank you, everybody. Last one. Ask me anything. If you have any questions, you can post it here also. Or else we can move out of this. And if there are any questions that anybody wants to ask. 3-4 seconds here. Or we are moving out of this, yeah.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning.
Sir, I would like to ask a question.
Yes.
Sir, as you know, this pandemic has affected most of our sectors. We students, especially the final years, we are very much confused or worried with the future. Like, can you please give us some tips to face the situation, at the same time strive hard to achieve our goals?
Yes. One thing, see, all calamities come with opportunities. Historically, it has been seen that whenever there had been a natural calamity or a human calamity, it has always come with better opportunities for everybody also. And this calamity also has come with wonderful opportunities if we look at that in that way, because now we will have to switch over to a newer way of doing the things. In a different way, we have to start doing and looking at those kinds of things also there. New jobs are going to emerge for young people. This is very good opportunity for older people, for middle-aged people like us. It is more difficult time that we will have to mold ourselves in a different life patterns. But for the younger people, this is something that perhaps they were waiting from the beginning of 21st century, but it was not happening. Suddenly in 2020, something has happened that this is going to turn out to be the century of young people in truer sense. Whatever young people love to do in a faster way, in a better way, in a quicker way, with the help of technology in different capacities, it is going to happen now in different capacities also there. Be ready for a change. That is the only mantra we should always keep in mind. Be ready. William Shakespeare's play, Hamlet, therein William Shakespeare is writing, readiness is all. Readiness is all. If something has to happen, it is going to happen. But my being ready is very important for whatever things are going to come there. So readiness is all is the mantra. In a time of crisis where we don't know what is the future. We don't know what will be after 1 or 2 months. How ready you are for whatever comes, that will play a very vital role in our lives.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for that wonderful session.
Okay, if there are no questions, the teachers can come, or any of the questions, then we can.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, I do have a question. Sir, in your opinion, is it right to have a mentality which expects or which is prepared for anything bad or anything wrong to happen at any moment in our life, so that if anything goes wrong, we will prepare and we can act quickly?
I think you are asking about being ready for something bad to happen. Well, I would suggest everybody, because they have in a concluding part and we hardly will take 5 more minutes, you can put on your camera also if you want to. I hope that these are not the instructions given by the teachers, but right now I can tell you that if you want to, you can put on your camera when you talk, or without that also. The students also, if you want to, you can put on your camera. Yeah. Well, so Alvin Benny has asked this question, that being ready for something worst. Whenever in my class I talk about positive attitude, which the reference I also have given here, is that my positive attitude also is to positively look at negative attitude. I always believe that being negative also is very, very helpful. Like I give examples of this freedom fighters. Freedom fighters. Now, it was their negative attitude towards British Raj that we are free today. If people would have taken that, well, be positive and don't ask for this, don't demand, do the work the way it happens, then we won't be free country at all. Mahatma Gandhi, Sardar Patel, Jawaharlal Nehru, and all the freedom struggles they have achieved. Everybody, any great achiever's life, if we see, they have always tried what we call in Sanskrit neti neti. That is not this, not this. And it is very interesting negative attitude or critical thinking also. Secondly, I don't agree with Rhonda Byrne's idea of secrets. Secrets is a very popular book. And it speaks about that the universe will design something for you. If you firmly believe into something, the universe will make a design, it will come to you. The same idea is there in another book by very popular writer, Paulo Coelho's The Alchemist. The Alchemist, Paulo Coelho's book, very popular, that also speaks about the same idea. There is a very popular Hindi film, Om Shanti Om, Shah Rukh Khan's film, Om Shanti Om, that also was talking on the very idea that even if something is not completed, you will take a rebirth, and unless things do not end, things do not end. That is the very popular sentence was, picture abhi baki hai. The film is not end, it is interval. Unless you are not happy, there is always happy ending at the end. The Indian thought of looking at things there. With all this thing in mind, the idea of Om Shanti Om, picture abhi baki hai, or Paulo Coelho's The Alchemist, Rhonda Byrne's The Secrets, and everything that goes with positive attitude, I always keep on telling that negative attitude also has the power. Always visualize, if you will fail, what will happen. And that will give you the power of resilience. One of the best way that I practice every day is that I always visualize that if I will fail in this, then what will happen. When I plan a webinar and I do several things like Mentimeter, live video from YouTube I was showing to you, I always think that if it will not work, then what? If internet will not work, then what? What will happen if it will not work? Now that is helping me a lot in plan B, plan C, plan D. Miss Jain was the participant in our webinar. The last international webinar that we have conducted last time, it was on 2nd and 3rd June. On 1st June, we had a terrible cyclone on our campus, and electricity poles and everything was just moved off. On 2nd and 3rd, there were this forecast of heavy cyclone. So the webinar has to go on, show must go on, whatever happened. So we planned a nearby hotel room, a private generator to generate a power, and a private internet connection as a plan B. If things go wrong, then also our international webinar has to go on. The show must go on. Like the people who perform in drama, they know that even if the near and dear one dies, they do not leave the stage. They first complete the show, and then they go to take care of the near and dear. And that's why it is said, show must go on. So, Alvin Benny, you are right. We have to be ready for the worst. Visualize the worst of the thing. Be prepared for that. That is one of the best way to have resilience within us.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you for your speech, sir.
Okay, if there are no questions, we can have conclusion here.
Now we have come to the end of the session. So feeling gratitude and not expressing is like wrapping a gift and keeping it with ourselves. Honorable Speaker of the Day, Dr. Dilip Barad, Professor and Head of the Department, MKBU, University, Gujarat, respected delegates, and all the attendees of the webinar. It is my honor and privilege now to give a vote of thanks on behalf of Basic Science and Humanities Department. First of all, I would like to thank our Dilip sir for enlightening our attendees with his insightful words. And all the stories which you have shared will truly stay in our mind whenever we face any anxiety, fear, or any stressful situation comes to our mind. All these examples will make us overcome the situation, sir. I have attended a national seminar and an international conference by sir. So you are spreading your wisdom and knowledge to all the students across the world. Thanks a lot for that. And in spite of your busy schedule, you have accepted our invitation and have raised this webinar. So heartfelt thanks to you, sir. Now, next, I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to our Vice Chairman, Professor Pramod P. Thevanur, Group Director, Mr. Gopakumar, sir, and our beloved Principal, Dr. Praveen sir, for their support for conducting the webinar. My heartfelt appreciation and thanks to Dr. Vinod P., Dean of Research and Head of the Department of Computer Science, for the perfect technological support. As everyone knows, things would happen overnight. The wheel starts rolling before 1 week. So it requires proper planning and a bird's eye on details. So I am indebted to our beloved HOD, Dr. Minnie Tom, the real inspiration behind our success, without whom this would not have happened. Thank you, ma'am, for your care and guidance. We have been fortunate enough to be backed by our team of very motivated and dedicated colleagues. I thank Ms. Febini M. Joseph and Ms. Divya M.S., Assistant Professor in English, for their timely help and support. I also extend my heartfelt thanks to Dr. Srilekha ma'am, Nuja Ms., Reshma Ms., and all other faculties in our college. Last but lasting appreciation to our students for their willingness and involvement to take part in this webinar. A special mention to dear Shahid, student from Automobile Department, for making the poster for this webinar. As we express our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter words, but to live by them. The gratitude towards everyone who have made this webinar a success will stay in our mind forever. And once again, heartfelt thanks to everyone who have joined the webinar and made it a success. Thank you.
Once again, thank you, sir. Thank you for spending so much time with us. Shall I close the...
Okay, bye, everybody.
You,
Yeah, bye.